Let's talk about something real today, something that'll hit home whether you're single, dating, or even rethinking a situationship that's been dragging on too long. Because here's the truth. Too many women are out here chasing men who were never meant to be chased. We live in a world where people are taught to hustle for everything: success, attention, love, validation. Somewhere along the way, many have started to believe that if you want love, you've got to chase it down, grip it tight, and fight to keep it. But here's the truth. Value doesn't chase. Value gets pursued. The moment you begin to understand your worth is the moment you stop chasing what's not aligned with it. You were never meant to run after what should be running after you. When something or someone sees value, they make a move. Think about how people treat things they deem precious. Nobody throws diamonds on the sidewalk. Nobody leaves a treasure chest unlocked. If something is valuable, it's protected, pursued, and honored. And you, yes, you, are the treasure. In the Bible, we are said to be fearfully and wonderfully made, and that we are God's workmanship, created with intention and care. That doesn't sound like someone who needs to beg for attention. That sounds like someone who is already enough. So why chase what hasn't proven it's ready to handle who you are? Why chase a man who doesn't see the fullness of your value? Real love, God-designed love, doesn't require you to abandon yourself to be seen. It doesn't demand that you overfunction, overgive, or overextend just to hold someone's interest. That's not pursuit. That's desperation masquerading as loyalty, and you weren't made for that. In the Bible, we are said that when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing and receives favor from the Lord. That tells me two things. First, the finding is his job. Second, your worth is already established before he finds you. You don't become valuable because someone chooses you. You're valuable because God already did. When you carry yourself like someone who knows that, your energy shifts. You stop trying to prove your worth and start moving like someone who knows what she brings to the table. Let's be real. When you chase something that isn't chasing you, you begin to lose yourself. You shrink, you compromise, you start dimming your light just to fit into someone else's shadow. But God never asked you to do that. He never told you to settle for half-hearted effort or inconsistent interest. He told you to guard your heart, because out of it flows the issues of life. You can't guard what you keep giving away too easily. When someone sees you as valuable, they will act like it. And when someone doesn't, no amount of chasing will change their mind. Love is shown in action. Pursuit is proven in effort. You won't have to chase what's meant for you. Just like the prodigal son was met with open arms and the shepherd left the 99 to find the one, love goes after what it values, not the other way around. One of the biggest traps so many people fall into is the game of guessing. Guessing what he meant by that text. Guessing if he's into you. Guessing if the silence is just him being busy, or a silent message telling you where you really stand. But here's the truth. When a man is serious about you, you won't have to sit there trying to decode his behavior like it's some puzzle from heaven. Love brings clarity, not confusion. God is not the author of confusion, and when something is sent by him, it won't require you to lose your peace just trying to understand it. Let's be honest. If someone can text you all day when he wants something from you, but suddenly becomes too busy when it comes to committing, honoring, or making you feel safe, then you don't need to pray for a sign. You've already got one. In the Bible, we are said that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, and if he's unstable, inconsistent, or leaving you in emotional limbo, then his actions are already revealing his level of seriousness. See, when someone knows what they want, they move toward it. It's that simple. They don't stall. They don't keep you on a string, feeding you just enough attention to keep you hoping. They don't breadcrumb you with compliments followed by days of silence. Real love moves with purpose. Real love shows up. Just look at how God loves us. He doesn't hide how he feels. He says, I have loved you with an everlasting love. He pursues, he initiates, he communicates his heart clearly and consistently. That's what serious love looks like. A man who is serious about you will not let you sit in anxiety over where you stand. You won't have to analyze every conversation. You won't have to search for hidden meaning in his tone. He will make it known, not just in words, but in action. In the Bible, we are said that where a man's treasure is, there his heart will be. If you are a priority, you will be treated like one. If you're just an option, you'll feel like one too. When God sends someone, they come with peace. And when the wrong one sticks around too long, you'll notice the confusion grows. That's why discernment is so important. Not every man who says he likes you is ready to lead you, honor you, or protect what God is doing in you. Some just like the idea of you. Some love your light but aren't ready to be trusted with it. But a man who is serious won't play with your time, your mind, or your emotions. He will pursue you intentionally, speak with clarity, and build with you. Not around you, not occasionally, and not when it's convenient. You won't be left wondering. You won't have to fill in the blanks. Because real love, serious love, kingdom-minded love, doesn't make you guess. There's a weight that comes from constantly trying to prove yourself to someone, a heaviness that settles into your soul when you feel like you're performing just to be chosen, noticed, or kept. But let's make one thing clear. God never called you to audition for a role in anyone's life. You were not created to compete for attention, nor were you designed to beg for love. You are already chosen, already seen, already loved. In the Bible, we are said that before you were formed in your mother's womb, God knew you. That means your value was established before anyone had a chance to judge you, measure you, or make you feel less than. When you live from that truth, everything shifts. You stop showing up in people's lives hoping to be enough. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces you were never meant to enter. You stop lowering your standards just to be accepted. And instead, you walk in the confidence of someone who understands their worth. Doesn't come from being picked by people, it comes from being chosen by God. You don't need to dress yourself up in personality traits you don't own. You don't need to be quieter, smaller, prettier, more agreeable, or more anything to deserve real love. You just need to be you. The problem is, too many of us have been taught that if we want to be loved, we have to earn it, perform for it, work for it. But that's not how kingdom love operates. In the Bible, we are said that love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, and it is not proud. That kind of love doesn't demand a performance, it invites authenticity. It makes space for you to be seen, known, and embraced, flaws and all. You don't have to do backflips for a man to recognize your value. You don't have to sell yourself like a product on a shelf, hoping someone picks you. You are not on trial. You are not applying for a position. You are not a temporary audition for a permanent role in someone's life. And any man who makes you feel like you are is not operating in God's design. When God brings two people together, there's peace, there's clarity, and there's no need to perform. It becomes about building something real, not proving you're worthy of it. You are a daughter of the Most High. That alone means you carry royalty in your bones. You walk with purpose. You speak with grace. You love with wisdom. And you were never called to stand on a stage, hoping for a yes from someone who doesn't even know how to recognize the gift of who you are. If he's unsure, unready, or unclear, let him go find what he's looking for. But you keep walking like the woman who knows she doesn't audition. She just walks in. There's a sting that comes with rejection, especially when your heart was fully opened, when you gave your time, your prayers, your hopes, and maybe even your future to the idea of someone only to be met with silence, distance, or a closed door. It can feel like a personal failure, like something was wrong with you. But what if it wasn't rejection at all? What if it was divine redirection? What if it was God's hand gently pulling you back from something you were never meant to carry? In the Bible, we are said that God's ways are higher than our ways and his thoughts higher than our thoughts. That means sometimes what looks like loss to us is actually love from him. There are some doors that close, not because you weren't good enough, but because God loves you too much to let you walk through them. There are people you didn't end up with, not because you were lacking, but because they were not equipped to handle the depth of your purpose. You didn't get rejected, you got protected. And sometimes that protection doesn't come with a warning. Sometimes it feels like heartbreak before it feels like healing. When someone walks away, it can feel like abandonment. But what if it was alignment? What if their absence was necessary for your growth? for your peace, and for the things God is still preparing for you. In the Bible, we are said that all things work together for the good of those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. That means even the things that don't feel good right now are working for your future. Even the no's, even the unanswered calls, even the moments where you cried asking why it ended. You don't have to understand it to trust it. There are some rejections that will make sense in hindsight. You'll look back and thank God He didn't let you settle there. You'll thank Him for the unanswered prayers, for the relationship that didn't bloom, for the affection that was withheld, not because you enjoy the pain, but because you'll start to see the protection. You'll realize that while you were busy praying for someone to stay, God was preparing someone who could actually stay and build. Someone who doesn't just like your light, but knows how to walk with it. Someone who sees you not just for how you make them feel, but for who you are at the core. When you let God write the story, rejection stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like direction. You stop chasing closed doors and start trusting that what's meant for you won't require forcing. You begin to believe that maybe, just maybe, God's not this is His way of saying, I've got better. Not just better in comfort, but better in character, better in alignment, better in love that reflects Him. Because anything God removes, He replaces with something more rooted in your calling. Too many women walk around carrying the quiet lie that maybe they're just too much, too emotional, too intense, too opinionated, too passionate, too complicated. And what often feeds that lie is the experience of trying to love someone who only knew how to love on the surface. So when your love came deep, when your presence carried weight, when your spirit stirred something in them they weren't prepared for, instead of rising to meet you, they made you feel like the problem. But you are not hard to love. You are just not meant to be loved casually. There is a certain kind of man who will mistake your strength for stubbornness, your honesty for attitude, your boundaries for walls. Not because they are true, but because his emotional maturity hasn't reached the depth where your kind of love lives. And it's not your job to shrink down so he can feel tall. It's not your calling to dilute yourself just so someone else doesn't drown in the weight of your depth. You were not designed to be easy to digest for someone living on emotional fast food. You were designed to be loved with intention. In the Bible, we are said that perfect love casts out fear. But the truth is, not everyone has learnt how to love in a way that's fearless. Some love from a place of ego, some from brokenness, some from survival mode. And when you walk in with grace, transparency, and real care, it exposes the shallow, it highlights what's missing, and instead of growing, some retreat. That's not a reflection of your worth, but a revelation of their readiness. You were created by a God who calls you fearfully and wonderfully made. He didn't make you a project, He made you a promise. You were never meant to be figured out like a puzzle, you were meant to be cherished like a gift. Your value is not up for negotiation just because someone hasn't learned how to hold it yet. And love, real love, doesn't fear depth, it welcomes it. It doesn't flinch when you speak your truth, it leans in. It doesn't shame you for your softness, it protects it. Sometimes the issue isn't that you're too much, it's that they were only ever looking for something temporary, and you, by your very design, were created with eternal purpose. There's a love that reflects that, one that mirrors how God loves. Patient, kind, steady, not easily angered, keeping no record of wrongs. That kind of love doesn't run from depth, it thrives in it. And if someone isn't ready to love like that, it's not a signal for you to question your design. It's a sign for you to wait for someone whose heart has been shaped to honor you properly. You are not intimidating. You are not broken. You are not too much. You are simply operating at a level some people haven't grown into yet, and that's okay. Because the one who is ready won't be afraid of your depth. He'll be grateful for it. There's something incredibly powerful about knowing your worth. It's not about arrogance or entitlement, but about understanding the value that God has already placed in you. When you know your worth, you stop allowing anyone to treat you less than what you're worth. You stop giving your time, your heart, and your attention to someone who doesn't honor it. Because when you know your value, you understand that the right person will recognize it too. The right one will pursue you, respect you, and align with the purpose that God has for both of you. Too often, people settle for less than they deserve, because they're afraid of being alone, or because they feel like love is a prize they have to earn. But in the Bible, we are said that God's love for us is unconditional. It's not based on how much we do or how well we perform, but on who we are to Him. You are already loved and chosen, not because you're perfect, but because you are His creation. That same love, that same recognition of your inherent value should be reflected in the way someone else treats you. The right person will not only see your worth, but will make it a priority to align with it. They won't ask you to lower your standards. They won't push you to compromise your values for the sake of keeping the peace. They will respect who you are and honor your boundaries and your needs, because they understand that you are not an object to be admired from a distance or kept in a temporary space, but a person to be loved fully and deeply. In relationships, when the pursuit is genuine, it's not about playing games or proving who cares more. It's about mutual respect, clear communication, and a shared vision. When someone is truly serious about you, they won't hesitate to show it. They won't make you guess where you stand. They'll pursue you not just when it's convenient, but consistently, because they know your value and are willing to meet you at that level. Just as the Bible tells us that a good man's steps are ordered by the Lord, when someone is meant for you, their steps will align with yours. God's plan for you is not to settle for someone who merely exists in your life, but to find someone who can walk beside you in purpose, in love, and in faith. The right person doesn't just want to be with you, they want to grow with you. They see your purpose, they see your heart, and they want to build a life together that reflects the best of what God has intended. They will respect your dreams, align with your vision, and commit to growing alongside you. That kind of pursuit isn't rushed, it's not pushed or forced. It's patient and steady, rooted in a deep understanding of the value of what's being built. And as you wait for that kind of love, remember, the pursuit is mutual. It's not one-sided. If someone truly values you, they will pursue you with intention, not just in words, but in consistent, thoughtful actions. And this is where alignment comes in, because if someone's pursuit doesn't line up with the worth you've been given by God, it's a clear sign that they aren't the one meant to walk this journey with you. The journey of love and relationships is about understanding your worth and trusting God's timing. You don't need to chase what's meant for you. True love will pursue and recognize the value within you. You are not meant to audition for a role in anyone's life, but to be cherished and respected for who you are. Rejection isn't failure, it's simply God's way of protecting you and redirecting you to something greater. The right one will not only recognize your value, but will pursue you with genuine respect, aligning with your purpose and dreams. So walk confidently in your identity, knowing that the right love will find you when you stop chasing what doesn't align with your worth. Trust God's plan for you, for He knows the desires of your heart and has already set the path for you to receive the love you deserve.